Coming up, the November 2025 Gentleman Junkie giveaway knife, one of the greatest, most classic knives from the Great White North. And with the dropping of the Agent 001 from TKell Knives, we'll talk about it and other great TKell Knives EDC blades. I'm Bob DeMarco. This is the Knife Junkie podcast.
Welcome to the Knife Junkie podcast, your weekly dose of knife news and information about knives and knife collecting. Here's your host, Bob the Knife Junkie DeMarco.
Welcome back to the show. One of my favorite comments from this past week about my ESK episode comes from Jorge Fernandez, good friend of the show. He says, I have an SP10. That's the Marine Raider Bowie from Ontario Knife and Tool. My youngest son fell in love with it the moment he held it, so he got one. We rarely use them now because they aren't making them anymore. Now my ESK folder is the large G10 Espada. Yeah, that one. I think he means the XL, incidentally. I liked it so much, I gave one to my 3 boys, my grandson on his 21st birthday, and my nephew. I've started this male Espada tradition thingy in the family. LOL. My girls like the gun sight, so they can carry it in their bottomless pit purses. We all know what those are. Go figure. And the Partisan, that's from Station 9, is back in stock, making it my new ESK fixie. I waited almost a year for it. Before that, my ESK was, and still is, my Zabo Express from Tops Knives, which I carry daily. The Partisan goes in the backpack. Great show, Bob. I work nights as an ER tech, so sometimes things don't wind down until 3 or 4 a.m., but I get to participate now, which I love doing. Thank you, Jorge. I really appreciate that nice long comment, and I love the enthusiasm around the concept of an emotional support knife. That's what an ESK is when you hear us talk about those. Those are those knives that whether it's a big, beefy knife like the Partisan that you have around for self-protection or something like this JW Collab Scuffle that you keep around to fidget with, it's the emotional support that matters. So everyone, bone up on your emotional support knives and let me know what you're carrying. Drop it in the comments below. I really appreciate it. All right, time for a pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
In my front right pocket today was one I rarely carry. This is the Emerson Knives Super CQ-C7. The CQ-C7, the chisel ground, you can see that flat side. Tonto that really launched Emerson Knives as not as a custom, he was making custom knives for a long time, but the CQ-C7 was the one that really launched him into the public eye. That and the Commander, which followed hot on the heels. They started making super models, that's models with nearly 4-inch bladed knives sometime in the 90s, and this was a giveaway knife. This was given to us by Bill S. a long time ago, and this was an auction knife that we did. My brother bought the knife and in that auction and then gifted it to me, which was a pretty cool. No, it wasn't inside baseball. It was a total surprise. That's how my brother is. He's cool. Cool as hell and a super generous dude. Has given me some of my absolute best knives, many of them hanging behind me on the wall. This one, I don't know why I carried it today. I rarely carry this one, but it just sang to me. Sometimes in the morning, I go through this little ritual where I open up my knife drawers and whatever just jumps out, I pick up and manipulate a little bit, and it ends up going in my pocket. And that was this one today. The one thing I had to modify about this knife, which I do with most of my Emerson knives, I had to sand down the G10 on the clip side. It is so grippy and abrasive that it is likely to destroy your pockets even sooner than the other knives will do. So had that in my pocket today. On my belt, I had a bunch on me today. On my belt, I had this Urban Edge from Cold Steel. I really love this little push dagger. It's so light and so easy to carry. I just have it set up with this paracord, and it rides near my belt buckle. And I'll put this over here. And so I had this, I've been carrying this more often than I even let on. It's just a great little self-defense option if need be. Also, though, I know that in the old days, I don't know if this is still the case, but in the cold steel warehouse, guys would like these because they could sign purchase orders and stuff, and then open up boxes and sign, and use a pen, use a flashlight, and not have to let go of the knife. Sort of like a bird and trout might work. So had this on me. That is also a chisel ground. I didn't put that together, but flat on one side, actually slightly concave on that side. Next up, I had this flashlight on me because I knew I was going to a neighbor's house tonight for cigars and whiskey, a little tradition a great neighbor of mine has started. We've done it twice, and I've met some really good guys doing that. But since it's about a half-mile walk, and part of it is through a little wooded trail, I always have this on me. This was given to me by Dave of OG Blade Reviews. I love this. This is the Nightcore EDC 27. It has you can basically have this button do a whole bunch of different things. I'll put this under the knife cam. You can program the main button to do different things, like have different combinations of lighting. I haven't really dug into that, but it has three different settings where it can go super bright, 1,000 lumens, or down to like 60 lumens or something like that if you're just reading a map, don't want to give away your position. And then what I really love about it is that it has this instant strobe. Hope that didn't blow out the camera, but you can just press this down and have a strobe immediately. To me, that's like the greatest self-defense tool going. You could blind someone, especially in the dark. They're coming up to you and their visual purple is on high, and you can just blind them with that and run away, or kick them in the knee or the groin and then run away. But I really like that light a lot. Nice and flat, though I have learned not to carry it with the clip in my pocket, because oftentimes when I sit down, it's close enough to my hip that it'll turn the light on, and I'll be like, why is my thigh on fire? And I'll look down and see the light coming through my jeans. So I just drop it all the way down in the pocket. And if I need it or think I might need it, I'll just carry it in my hand. But really great light. Want to get used to carrying it more often. Next up, my fixed blade knife in the 3 o'clock position today was the beautiful Nova 1. This is the prototype of the Nova 1. We sold 27 of these, I believe. Made and produced by Hogtooth Knives. So this is my blade shape on his handle design, him being Matt Chase of Hogtooth Knives. That's 154 cm, very sharp, gentle recurved Bowie blade. We did this one, I think it was 2022, and then we did one in 2023 and a half, and now we have to get to the Nova 3. We've been talking about it back and forth about what it could be. I've been giving him some designs, but I haven't really settled on anything quite yet. But beautiful dark maroon micarta handles with red liners. The final versions that people bought had a slightly thinner handle, but it had, because the liners were thinner, and they were a forest green with that same beautiful dark polished maroon micarta. Just a classy carry, beautifully sharp, 154 cm, and I just love this knife. Haven't carried it in a while. There's always something new and exciting coming through here, and I had to just go back to basics with that one today. Last up, my emotional support knife today was the beautiful attention to detail Mercantile medium fighter. This was my very first custom knife, bought from Douglas Esposito when he and his attention to detail Mercantile knife brand were located near me in Northern Virginia. He has since moved to Mississippi and has since moved on to exquisite folders, which I have to get a new one. I have an older one. I think it was the first folder he ever made, but first folder he ever made with inlays. Anyway, I have to get a new one. He's been doing some incredible stuff, and he's obviously gotten better with time. And I've seen some people showing them off, and it's making me jealous. But a gorgeous tortoiseshell handle here with the crown spine, the double-edged fighting blade, S35VN. It's 5.5 inches long. I think it's 5 3/4 inches long, actually. Fits in the hand so perfectly. And you know how it is with older stuff. You don't forget that you have it, but you take it for granted. And today I just I had to carry it. It's so beautiful. Though I didn't carry it, it was in my backpack. A subtle little detail here: no sharpening choil, which I'm starting to come around to. The sharpening choil can hang up on clothing and other things if you use it as a fighting knife. So that's what I had on me today. Let me know what you had on you. I had the Super CQC7 from Emerson Knives. I had the Urban Edge from Cold Steel, the push dagger right there on my belt. 3 o'clock position, I had the Nova 1 by myself and Hogtooth Knives. By the way, that giant Knife Junkie logo is just for me on the prototype. When you buy a Hogtooth Knives / Knife Junkie collaboration, the logo is much smaller. I had the EDC 27 from Nightcore, and then the beautiful medium fighter from Attention to Detail Mercantile. All right, speaking of cigars, which I was just a moment ago, the second batch of the Knife Junkie Zippos has just arrived at my place. Excuse this. And so I will be ready to ship these shortly. I have 4 people who have said they want them, and I think I just got a 5th message. So they're selling out quickly. I will order more. I just didn't want to order too many and then have be sitting on a bunch of Zippos. They ship to you with the regular wick and the windproof wick. I have bought the jet. I like the jets for lighting cigars better than the regular old school wick, but I got to say, I do love that as well. I just wish it tasted better, the fuel. But I just want to show this up close. Look at how beautifully they nailed my logo, even with those tight lines in the background above that horizon line. They just did a beautiful job. This one is mine. And I've had it rattling around in my pocket a lot, and it has not scuffed yet. Hopefully it doesn't at all. But the logo has remained perfectly unmolested. What's the word? I don't know. It just hasn't been nicked up. So I really like the work Zippo does. They've been doing this for many years, and they're doing a beautiful job. So now we have that to offer to you. They're $50. Knife Junkie Zippos for $50. If you want one, let me know. Email me at theknifejunkie@gmail.com. And if I get enough people, I'll make another batch. Maybe I'll make it bigger this time and just hawk them and keep them around here and just kind of sell them. But it's fun to have Zippos out there with my logo on them. I've always loved Zippos. So there it is. All right, next up, another thing I'm very proud about and happy about is on November 1st of 2025, the second batch of TKell Knives Agent 001s will be dropping. This is a version of that. We'll be showing them off a lot at the end of the show with some other really great TKell Knives EDC blades. But this is the one we're going to be giving away on the on the 20th of November 2025. This will be the Gentleman Junkie giveaway knife with that beautiful blue and black layered G10 handle, though you can get it in so many different materials now, different materials and many different colors. So rest assured, if you don't like blue, you can order one in any other color you like. You might see some of the foreshadowing up here at the top of the screen. So there is the Knife Junkie logo. This one is in ADCRV2, I believe. I have some that are AEBL stainless and ADCRV2. They both seem to be somewhat equal in their rust resistance, as they are all coated with nickel boron. And that nickel boron is not only a protective coating, it adds A, to the Rockwell hardness, and B, it makes it really easy to slip in and out of whatever you're sticking it into, whether it's the sheath or a 50-gallon drum of Uzis or an opponent or whatever it is. Nickel boron is a material that is found in guns, and TKell is a serious firearms aficionado, and he figured, why not coat every blade in nickel boron? And I love that. So anyway, this is the knife we'll be giving away on November 20th. Just become a gentleman junkie. You can do that at Patreon. Go to theknifejunkie.com/Patreon. Or you can also become a gentleman junkie right here on YouTube when you become a member. We have 6 members now. And if you do decide to become a member, please email me at theknifejunkie@gmail.com so I can send you your stickers and your coaster and that kind of thing. You just click the join button and take it from there. All right. Speaking of Patreon, one last thing I want to plug on Patreon are the Friday funnies. You know, I talk about Maker Mondays a lot and knife notes. These are things that Jim puts together that are really fun to have in the Patreon feed. Well, Friday funnies are also a thing that Jim comes up with and posts every Friday, and they're knife-related memes and comics. They're more like comic strips, like single frame comic strips. Think The New Yorker, or think The Far Side, that kind of thing. So go check it out. That's just another thing you get from becoming a member on Patreon, or a patron on Patreon. Let me tell you again how to do that. You can go to theknifejunkie.com/Patreon. Check out what we have to offer there. Or you can scan that QR code right there on your screen. That'll take you right there. And if you buy an entire year or pay for an entire year at once, you get 12% off, which is a lot percent off. So you might want to take advantage of that. A lot of people have been doing that recently, and smart move. Go to theknifejunkie.com/Patreon. Again, that's theknifejunkie.com/Patreon.
Adventure Delivered, your monthly subscription for hand-picked outdoor, survival, EDC, and other cool gear from our expert team of outdoor professionals. TheKnifeJunkie.com/BattleBox.
You're listening to the Knife Junkie podcast. And now here's the Knife Junkie with the Knife Life News.
All right, first up in Knife Life News, Civivi is doing what I love when they do. That didn't sound right, but you know what I mean? This is one of my favorite things about Civivi, is that they have some really cool fixed blade knives. This new one that's coming out, it's not quite out yet, is the Civivi Torvin. It's a beautiful, I'm going to call it kind of a modern looking Puko. With the blade shape, it's 3.75 inches of AEBL stainless steel in that drop point. What's kind of I hesitate to call it a drop point, but that's what they call it. It's like a straight back sort of Puko style, do everything utility / outdoors knife. But the USP about this one is it's got serrations. This is only the second knife out from Civivi with serrations, and you can see them right there by the ricasso. Cool thing about this is that there are 3 teeth, and each one of them are separated with a different distance. The scalloped part between the 2 teeth is largest on the serration closest to the hand, and then they get progressively smaller as you go forward. And I think that's kind of cool. So you get some real aggressive cutting there. Say you have to cut rope or twine on your outdoor adventure. That's probably the best place to do it, or at least it will start the cut. Those big serrations will start the cut, and you can finish it with the rest of that razor sharp AEBL. This one is 4.34 ounces with a Kydex sheath. Beautiful ergonomic handle that sort of brackets the hand and has a nice palm swell there. You can just look at that, and if you have a hand, you know it's going to be comfortable. The prototypes have been shown in 2 different handle materials, that sort of brown, what's it called? Sackcloth, I guess. There's another word for it, which is escaping me. Micarta, or that G10 that you can see in the blue and white. Again, not available yet, but they do have a price on them. These will be $94. And I would say well worth it. I have been so happy with the Civivi fixed blades I've gotten so far, and I've only gotten a small fraction of them, but they are awesome. All right, next up, buck of the month. Now, as I record this, we are in the end of October 2025, but they still have some of these left, and it is the 101. The 101 is a fixed-bladed version of the emblematic, I guess I'll call it, 110 folding hunter, the knife that really put buck on the map in the modern era. And this, as you can see from the picture, is a fixed-bladed version of this. Now, they had this one out for a while and then discontinued it, but now it comes out every once in a while for a buck of the month. Last time, it was a drop point, which, in my opinion, probably very, very useful and workable, but just not as compelling as this beautiful California clip. This one is now out with that's 3.75 inches of S35VN. Yep, S35VN on this 101 with the Paul Boss heat treat. Paul Boss is the boss when it comes to heat treating. He can even make 420. Screamingly sharp, yes, but also very, very tough. So Paul Boss heat treat on this. Handle scales are Eldorado Rich Light with an Anzo pattern. Jen's Anzo was the first one to do that sort of grooved pattern. So it's been called the Anzo pattern for a long time. At least I still call it that. But that layered Rich Light really looks like wood, looks like natural material, perfect for the fall. Really, really beautiful. Comes with a distressed leather sheath, and there are still a few of these available at $175. So if you're a buck guy, and I wouldn't necessarily call myself a buck guy, but I'm a huge fan and appreciator of the classic buck models, and actually their new range series is really sweet. But I love the old 110, the 112, the 119, the 120 fixed blades. Those are awesome too. So if you're in that camp, you might really want to save up your shekels and get that one. But you better act fast because the month is almost over. All right, next up is from GiantMouse, a company that Jen Zanzo used to be a part of GiantMouse for the first 10 years. I absolutely love GiantMouse from a distance. I don't have any, but I always love their designs. Luckily, they are always pretty much out of my wheelhouse in terms of size. So I've never had that moral obligation to spend the money on a GiantMouse, but they are beautiful. This new one is the Farley V1. Farley V1 Trim, it's called, Trim. If any of you know Eddie Murphy, you know why I just chuckled. Anyway, so the original release of the Farley, I'm not sure how they actually pronounce it, was in 2022, and it was their answer to the lack of slip jointage in their lineup. And it had micarta handles, and then they had the V2 version back then, which was the bolstered micarta versions. So V1, no bolsters, V2, bolsters. So the V1 Trim is actually now with contoured titanium. And then they hopefully will come out with a V2, which will have the titanium, but also with bolsters. So this thing is beautiful, nice and slim, as the name would betray, and it has a beautiful 2.75 inch LMAX spear point blade. I think the blade is beautiful. The handle is beautiful. Again, this is ergonomics that the eye can sense. You have a wire clip, and these are available now at $225. Now, I am not sure about the action on these, but knowing GiantMouse's reputation, I'm sure it's absolutely stellar. And I think that these have a stop pin. So they're not a traditional, I know they have a stop pin just from looking at it. They're not traditional slip joints that use the kick on the ricasso to stop the blade when you close it. They use a stop pin against that sharpening notch. So absolutely beautiful, again, from GiantMouse. All right, last up in the Knife Life news today from Victorinox, a company that, doesn't change things too often, but here's a nice big change. This is their Alox refined collection. Alox are those aluminum oxide handled knives that we all know and love. I got a bunch of them. The one thing I don't like about the Alox models, parenthetically, is no toothpick because I use that all the time when I have my Victorinoxes on me, and no tweezers. And you'd think with this model they might figure out a way to do that, but they haven't. But that's okay. I'm not throwing shade. 3 models in this refined collection. Now if you're looking at the screen, you can see that there are odd cutouts that we don't see ordinarily on Victorinox knives. The one cutout that concerns me is on the bottom side of it, because you can see kind of the works of the slip joint there, and I'm wondering if that will introduce gunk and muck into the situation and kind of jam up the action on that side of the slip joint. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Beautiful cutouts on the top, which I like a lot, and then some of that knurled texturing, but not on the whole thing. And then the rest of it has a sort of brushed bark-looking texturing on those aluminum oxide handles. Okay, what are the unique selling propositions of these besides the new look? The first is a locking main blade. There's a locking leaf there. It has a tab that extends out like an old school liner lock, and it locks that blade open. I love that. I love that aspect. The second USP here is the pocket clip. It has a pocket clip, kind of a deep carry loop over spring pocket clip. It does present the blade tip down, but that's not such a concern in this case because it is a slip joint. There is no, not a slip joint, but it is a two-handed opening knife. So all of the reasons we don't like a tip down modern folder don't really come into play with this one. 3 models of this. The one fold, which has a single blade, locking blade. The Synergy, a word I absolutely despise, but I can talk about that another time, with a blade, nail file, bottle opener, and a flathead screwdriver. And then the box opener, that funny looking tool at the very top there. And then the Synergy X, which has all of those tools plus scissors. These are available now starting at $56 for the one fold and rounding the corner at $96 for the Synergy X. Very exciting news. I wish it had a bail. I do love the bails on my Victorinoxes, but it has a pocket clip, so that sort of precludes the bail, right? I mean, doesn't for me, but might for you. So go check those out, and you'll be excited to see them. All right, coming up, we're going to go to the first tool, but I want to remind you that you can sign up for the newsletter that comes every couple of weeks. It should come every week, but sometimes I slack. That's all right. You get enough emails anyway. But I want to get in your email box just in case this show ever has to leave this platform or other platforms. We can always be in touch and talk about knives. Just go to TheKnifeJunkie.com/newsletter. All right, let's get to the first tool.
You're listening to the Knife Junkie podcast. Here's some cool knife history with the Knife Junkie's The First Tool.
If you ever hold an ulu in your hand, you'll feel something ancient, something older than almost any other knife design still in use. The ulu isn't just a tool, it's a living artifact of survival, culture, and ingenuity born in one of the harshest environments on Earth, the Arctic. For thousands of years, Inuit, Yup'ik, and Aleut women used the ulu for nearly everything: skinning seals, cutting hair, slicing meat, shaping hides, even trimming the food for their children. It was a multi-tool before multi-tools existed, but its shape is what truly sets it apart. A crescent blade that rocks gracefully against a cutting surface, powered not by downward force, but by leverage and precision. Early ulus were crafted from whatever the Arctic offered. Before metal, there was slate, shale, or sharpened bone lashed to a driftwood handle. When European explorers brought steel to the north, the design hardly changed, only the materials did. That's how perfect the form already was. Each ulu was personal, passed from mother to daughter. It carried family lineage and spiritual weight. Some were engraved with simple carvings, others decorated with ivory or antler handles. And when an Inuit woman passed away, if not handed down to the next generation, her ulu was often buried with her, not as a possession, but as an extension of who she was. There's a quiet poetry in that, a tool so tied to daily life that it became a symbol of womanhood, care, and continuity. In the Inuit tradition, men might make the blade, but women gave it meaning through their work. The ulu wasn't just used, it was lived. Even today, you can find ulus being handmade in northern Alaska and Canada, sold both as practical kitchen tools and cultural treasures. Modern versions may use stainless steel and polymer handles, but the soul of the blade, that perfect arc, that perfect balance, remains unchanged. It's rare for a design to survive untouched for millennia, but the ulu has done just that. In the Arctic's signature, it's an Arctic's signature tool, one that connects modern hands to ancestors who carved, fed, and thrived in a frozen world. Because when a knife works perfectly, it doesn't need to evolve. It simply endures.
Want to sell your custom knives online? With LaunchCart, you can easily create your own e-commerce store. No coding required. LaunchCart is designed for knife makers like you, with built-in tools to showcase your craftsmanship, manage orders, and grow your brand. It's fast, flexible, and even includes low-cost payment processing to help you keep more of your profits. Start your online knife store today at TheKnifeJunkie.com/launch and turn your passion into a business.
So we're going to be talking about TKell Knives coming up here, especially their best EDC models. But I wanted to show you the very first TKell knife I ever got. This one fascinated me, and man, it got me right down the rabbit hole. This is the Guardian. I'm sorry, I almost said Defender. This is the Guardian. There's also a Night Guard, which is a smaller version of this, but this is the one that really fascinated me because of the audacity of that crazy bevel. That bevel is just designed sheerly for self-defense. As you can see, the bevel is very short, very shallow, extremely oblique. You can see it looks like a diamond in cross section here. You are not cutting any salami with this. You are not slicing lunch meat with this. This is 100% about gashing, stabbing, thrusting, and tearing. It's a super nasty blade. It's pretty heavy, relatively speaking, for a knife of its size, due to the full slab that you have up to that oblique bevel there. This thing, when it first came out, Tim of TKell Knives was admittedly more of a gun guy than a knife guy when he first started. And there were some things, some of the rules that he broke as a gun guy and not a knife guy really is what got him the attention, well, I should say just the attention and infamy that made him who he is today. Who would ever put a bevel on a knife like this, especially in this day and age when everyone's talking about thin behind the edge and slicey? Well, Tim did, and it really launched him. Now, this is, you might look at this and think, well, that's just too oblique. That's just too thick behind the edge to do anything. And all you got to do is take this through some spare ribs or swing at any soft material with this, and you'll see what it does. It yawns open. It powers through soft materials like you would not believe. Actually, you can believe it if you just look this knife up. You'll see videos of him going to town on his pork man with this. Pork man is a couple of thick pork loins wrapped around PVC tubing and then wrapped with 7 layers of saran wrap to approximate skin, and you will see what this thing does. It is admittedly kind of a funky looking knife. It's a 3-way tri-edged sheep's foot or Wharncliffe, depends on what you want to call it, but 3 distinct edges there. This thing is just wicked and nasty, and I'm glad I have it. I do not carry it often, to be 100% honest, because there are other TKell knives I just prefer, but it's on the Warthog handle. So if you're looking at this, you can see the purple here is the handle from the Warthog, which fits perfectly in hand and is nice and small and fits on the belt easily. But I do have this with the Sentry grip, so you can see how this side of the G10, the full black side, incorporates a ring on there, and that gives you a better grip. In standard grip like this, gives you more of a pommel to resist centrifugal force, but also if you carry it in such a way that you're drawing it ring finger or forefinger first, it gives you that sort of karambit style engagement. Now for me, I wouldn't do much flipping with this. I'm not much of a flipping guy. I've hurt myself enough with curved karambits to just resist the urge to flip. But that ring is superior for drawing the knife. I absolutely love it. And I love it even more so on other knives. But so this is the Guardian. You can still get it. If that style of bevel is just not versatile enough for you and your purposes, check out the Night Guard. It's a little bit shorter, and it's a similar shaped handle, but it's or similar shaped blade, but it's got a swedge and a much higher bevel, so you can use it for more cutting chores than just defending yourself. So go check that out. All right, now let's talk about TKell knives. But before we do, I want to show off some of the cool merch we have. This is new stuff that Jim has just come up with. Jim is always busy at work and coming up with new witty maxims like these and designs for them. Don't make me unfold this, he says. And I like it because, you know, I'm especially fond of the more combative style knives. And here, this is a sort of a tip of the hat to those of us who like to carry knives for self-protection. You need, it's grilling season still. I mean, for me, it's griddle season all year round, but you're still going to be outside cooking or inside. I made a big pot of sauce and meatballs just this week, and I wish I had this apron on me because it would have saved me the shirt I was wearing. You can also put on a hat with this on, a t-shirt, or a great number of other things, mugs and other such stuff. So if you're a coffee maker, if you're a guy who wears shirts, maybe you wear hats, maybe you cook, check us out. Go to TheKnifeJunkie.com/shop. There are many pages of merch there with really cool logos and art on them. So go check it out. TheKnifeJunkie.com/shop. All right. So to head up this conversation about TKell knives, especially the EDC TKell knives, which is kind of what they're born and bred for, but they have expanded and they have a lot more larger knives out there. We're going to talk about the launch of the Agent 001. I just said launch like I'm from New York. I don't know why I said it like that. But let's talk about these. They are really cool, super refined. As I mentioned, the first one that I showed off today is the blue one, which we're going to be giving away to a lucky gentleman junkie on November 20th this month in this year of 2025. But I'm going to show you a little cavalcade of Agent 001s here. So first off, you can get the 001 now with the Badger Claw leather sheath. Truth be told, this is how I've been carrying it the most recently, because this has been my main blade. Oftentimes, I just drop the whole thing in my pocket. You can see from the shape of that sheath, it nestles down perfectly into the bottom of a man's jeans pocket. I'm not saying you got to be a man to buy this, but if you're a woman, you know you don't have pockets deep enough, so you might just want to get a clip. But I just put it right in like this, and I can just draw the knife directly out. So something you may have noticed, something I've been talking about a lot, is that Tim has outsourced some of his milling, or much of his milling for his blades, to Nick Chuprin of NCC Knives, an absolute perfectionist and amazing machinist. He's out of New Hampshire. You might know Nick from his beautiful folding knives. Well, he's taken all of the meticulousness of making those knives and put it into fixed blade knives. Look at the beautiful chamfering on this. Look at the striations in the bevels here. Beautifully, beautifully milled by Nick and NCC Knives as a collaboration with T.Kell. And not only is this very much kinder in the hand than the first run. I love the first run. That I still carry those all the time. But they're nice and soft on the edges here so they don't bite into the hand. He's reduced the number of jimps on the thumb ramp from 5 to 4. Bigger jimps. I actually rather like that. My original design had 5 smaller ones. They've gone to 4 larger ones, and I really, really like it. Actually, it's more comfortable, and the thumb really buries deep in there. We have battle lock grips on this one. I have a bunch of battle lock grips I'm going to show you in a minute. Beautiful saturated color. This is something I'm loving about these battle lock grips. Not only does that stone texturing portion in the center really grip, I mean, it grips beautifully. I mean, like, but it doesn't harsh the hand, and it doesn't like destroy your jeans somehow, maybe because those tiny little pebbles are very, very small. But in addition, with the battle grip here on the sides, that's this TKell Knives sort of patented grip pattern here. It just feels so good in hand. This is another one of those knife handles that you can just look at visually and tell how ergonomically sound it is. Now, when presenting the original agent design to Tim, he said, "I love that blade. We're gonna nail that blade," and they did exactly as I drew it. But he said, "I think the handle needs a little work," and he went to town, and this is what he came up with. I had a more severe choil here for the pinky, and here for the forefinger. He kind of made it more graceful and arced, and man, it feels so good in hand. We added the jimping on the back, 3 here for my wife and my 2 daughters, 3 here for the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. It doesn't have to be for you if that's not your thing. I totally get it, but that's what I was thinking. I was thinking how cool it is that say the kukris or all of the Filipino blades and the Malaysian blades have different spiritual aspects to the designs that you don't need to know about to make them effective. But they're there nonetheless, and that's what I was thinking when I came up with that. So don't worry, don't have to be a Catholic to to own and appreciate these. So let me show you this now. This is the standard sheath it ships with. Awesome, slender Kydex sheaths that Tim has kind of made his name on for serious everyday carry. But this one, now they don't ship with this clip, but you can purchase that extra, and I highly recommend it. I'm a total convert to this. I love the DCC clips for vertical carry, but for horizontal carry, I am 100% behind these Ulti clips here. This is an Ulti clip wire clip that Tim co-designed with the late great gentleman who started UltiClip. May he rest in peace. But this thing is great. You can spread it out to fit any sort of grommet or lashing option, within reason. But this could go even further. And I could put it over here if I wanted to, but it keeps it really close to the belt, close to the body. There's very little standoff distance between the blade and your belt, and it just holds perfectly and very stout. I thought just from looking at it that it would turn on the belt, it would swivel. It doesn't at all. It keeps it right where it needs to be. Here again is another beautifully saturated, and it's funny to call this saturated because I've shown you 2 pretty dull colors in that olive drab and this desert tan. But when you get your eyes on these, as well as your hands, you'll see how really great these battle lock grips are. All right, now I'm going to show you 2 special editions that are shipping right now. So these knives, as you see them right here, are shipping out soon enough, November 1st, but you better jump on them because they're not unlimited. But if you want one of these 2 special editions right now, you could buy it right now because they're already ready to go. Now, how TKell Knives works, you order it, say you order it with this blue grip. You'd say, I want the blue grip on the 001. Then they make your knife. They have the blades ready to go. They put they select the handle you want, make the handle, put it on, select the sheath you want, and get all that ready. They put the edge on the knife, and then they ship it to you. But these are already made, and I've got 2 special editions to show you. First has that beautiful cobalt blue battle lock grip. Again, super saturated color that I love so much. But check out the blade. This is the Storm edition. I still have the oil on there. Maybe just for our purposes here, I'll wipe the oil off. So you got a laser etched lightning pattern on there that is so cool, and it's perfect for this time of year. Perfect for any time of year, but I love it for fall because creepy movies and thunderstorms go hand in hand. But you got the same super sharp blade. These are coming in AEBL, so these are stainless. Am I right about that? Okay, honestly, I don't know. All TKell knives come in either AEBL or ADCRV2, but they're all coated with that nickel boron coating, so it kind of doesn't matter. Do you like a tougher, more outdoorsy steel in the ADCRV2, or do you like a more EDC style with the AEBL? Really, they're kind of interchangeable for me. They kind of don't matter, but both great steels. And look at that really cool lightning pattern on there. Of course, it comes with whatever handle color you want. Actually, that's not true. These ready to ship ones have handle colors that you can choose from. It's not like getting a custom one here. Next one is, and I love this, especially for Halloween. You can tell from that, again, super saturated lime green. You know what this is going to be. That's right. It's a zombie edition. You remember when zombies were everywhere? I mean, not literally, thank God, but the zombie craze that started with The Walking Dead and ran its way through knives. There was a long period of that. Well, at this point, this is kind of a tip of the hat. This is sort of a nostalgia bid here with the zombie blood splatter on the blade. Of course, that is laser engraved, or not engraved, laser etched in there, I guess is the word. And then you have that beautiful green handle. Now these the zombie edition is shipping only in this green handle, and I love it. This will be what I carry on Halloween. I can't wait. And well, I'll probably carry both of them. But I really love the look of this. I don't have too many zombie blades in my collection, so I'm really happy that the one I do have is an Agent 001. Look at how beautiful that is. All right, I'm going to set this down here. That is a representation of the full line of the Agent 001 series. You've got the Ulti clip here, and then this is the clip that they ship with. And this clip is actually really awesome. I love this. And if you have a couple extras of these, you could always swap. If you say you buy an aftermarket clip like this, you can take this off and put it on your favorite holster. It'll work on your holsters for in the waistband carry. All right, let me remove these very, very, very sharp knives, and let me do it very carefully so as not to cut myself. I've cut myself on camera here so many times that I'm not all about that, as the kids say. Do they say that? I think they say that. All right, next up is also from the Agent series. This is the Agent 002. Now, this is taking the Agent handle. So this handle that Tim and I collaborated on launched the entire Agent series. And the second one is borrowing from the Night Guard. So you see that really great looking modified sheep's foot, modified Wharncliffe blade on this Agent handle. I've told the story many times, but I'll tell it again because that's the DeMarco way to retell stories over and over. Just ask my dad or my brother or my sister. I think my mom's the only one who doesn't indulge in all that. But so this is the knife I used to install this flooring in our pool. My wife is a pool board member, much to her dismay, at our local pool. You wouldn't believe how crazy political a pool board can be. But anyway, so she bought a whole bunch of this flooring to put on the pool, on the tiled floor in the locker rooms. And this knife was perfect for putting that damn pain in the ass together, because this Wharncliffe blade with that straight edge was perfect for cutting really hard plastic. I horsed this through a lot of really hard plastic. And then this awesome handle, which was originally designed for thumb capping, for reverse grip, turned out to be a great hammer. I used this so much to hammer pieces of these floor tiles together. And the jimps actually worked great to grip, kind of like the knurling on the hammer pole of a roofing hammer. It just grabbed into whatever I was hammering into, especially the soft, the tough material I was using, that I was pounding this into. Something I failed to mention when I was showing off the 001 is that this terminates in a comfortable yet effective glass breaker here. Like when you put your thumb here, it's right in the nook of your thumb, so you don't even feel this sort of diamond shape, that pyramidal shape there. But it works great as a glass cutter. Not glass cutter, I'm sorry, glass breaker. And remember, if you ever have to break glass in, say, a car, do it in the corner. You'll see a lot of great videos of people trying to break the glass right in the center. Doesn't work, but once you do it in the corner, it just shatters easily. Also, you don't want to do it in the middle, because if you did make it through, you'd be smacking whoever's in there in the face with the butt of your knife. But the beautiful Agent 002 right here. Love this knife. Now, this is wearing the Woodland Burl G10. So tan, brown, and black all swirled together, not in layers like you saw on the blue and black, blue and black, blue and black, but each layer has swirls. And this is something that Tim worked with the G10 supplier to actually create. So really, really cool. All right, next up is the Agent 003. Now, the 003 is with the Night Stalker blade, the very popular Night Stalker blade on that Agent handle. So here it is. You can see this one is when they first started working with NCC. You can see the milling lines on the bevel, but a little more subtle. Everyone loved the mill lines, so they made them slightly more pronounced now. Has great jimping. Really grabs the thumb, though I have it on good word that the new ones will have more chamfering on the side of those jimps, making them less sharp on the sides, but still as effective. This is wearing blue jean micarta. I love denim micarta. I'm a huge micarta fan. I love the burlap. I love the canvas. I love the linen with that real tight weave, but I'm especially fond of the denim. I'm a big blue jeans wearer as it is. I'm sure most of us are, but I love the look of it. It's I don't know, it's wistful. And but what's really the special part about this blade is, or about this knife, is that blade. You've got a beautiful drop point. It almost looks like a clip point to me, with a full length swedge. This is great for piercing. You've got a center line point. If you align the point with the screws on the handle, it's exactly down the center. So you get great utility, great self-defense capability in this, and then just great everyday carry utility out of this. Admittedly, the Agent 001 is a bit combative with its double edge. This one can do double duty. It's combative, but also utilitarian. Also, it's probably more legal in some areas as it's single edge. Okay, last of my collection of the Agent series Tim just sent to me, and this thing is so sweet. This is the Agent 004. Now, the 004 is based on the Puko blade, the Puko from Northern Europe, kind of a do-everything outdoors blade. This one with that super saturated pink battle lock. Yes, my daughters want this when I die. Yes. It's gonna, yeah, every time you take off a sheath, it'll fly off the TKell unless you stop it from doing so. So there it is. Now this one is just under 3 inches, and I got a little cloth stuck in that battle lock. I'll have to get out later. But this is just under 3 inches. So if you're concerned about knife lengths in your area, this one will probably pass muster. You've got a beautiful straight back blade there. Oh, that will drive me nuts. Let me just try and. All right, this is not. There it goes. Thank you. Thank you. You got that beautiful straight back Puko blade, very high bevel. So nice and slicey for such a thin blade. You've got the quad jimps there, nicely chamfered. And that beautiful handle. You know, you don't have to get the pink. I recommend it. I think it's wistful. I've used that word twice. I think it's kind of fun and fanciful. That's the word I'm looking for. Fanciful. Looks really cool too with the black bolts. I'm a big fan of pink when it's with black, or that color combination. Used to hate pink altogether, but then had daughters, had to learn to love it. And that hot pink, man, that is something. You will see it a mile away, though. So if your intention is to carry this surreptitiously on your person for self-defense, you might want to shy away from that. But if you're taking this out as an everyday carry and you're going in the woods with it and stuff, which this would make a pretty good little woods knife, you might buy something like this, or that blaze orange or something in case you drop it. I dare say this would be even better than blaze orange, because if it's in the fall, it won't get lost with the orange leaves on the ground. So this is the Agent 004. I'm a huge fan of this blade design, and I'm very grateful that Tim sent it to me to check out. Thank you, Tim. All right, next up, I just want to show real briefly, here is the new version of the Night Stalker, also with the battle lock grips. What's new about this? It's the thinness of the blade, a little more svelte. They have a number of different versions of this knife, but this is now with thicker blades for more hardcore scenarios. But this is the standard version, and it has a slimmer blade stock, and I really like it. It's super, super light. This is the knife that inspired the 001 in terms of carry length. It fits in the same carry envelope. I had my original Night Stalker, which I don't have on the table here. I was carrying it all the time. So when I proposed doing a collaboration with Tim, I told him this fits right in the carry envelope of the Night Stalker, and it's the perfect length. And I love this blade. This is the one that really sold me on rings again. I started shying away from rings and karambits, and then I got this, and it reignited my love of the utility of the ring, not the fancy flipping and that kind of thing. All right, next up is new. This is the Nautilus, and this is based on the Night Stalker. It's just a ring delete with a little change of the handle here, and then pushing the thumb ramp forward so you could get good purchase on this 3-finger knife. Yeah, this is a little big knife, if ever I've had one. Really only 3 fingers on there, but the pinky braces against the pommel. So you get a really, really excellent grip on this. The thumb is able to extend forward, and you get the full Night Stalker blade on there, just a little less on top to accommodate the thumb. So same cutting edge, same point, same blade basically, and same handle in a lot of ways. I know he tweaked the handle once he deleted the ring, but this thing is awesome, the Nautilus. It's a great, super subtle on the belt, very small, easy to carry. I mean, this is a great office fixed blade if you have a sweater on and you can just kind of cover up the knife. This will not print at all. It's so small. yet so right. I don't know. It just fits the hand perfectly. And most 3-finger rings, I want to put a fob on just for extra grip. You could with those rings there, those ring bolts, but I have no desire to do so on this. It just feels great in hand. There it is. That's the Nautilus, brand new. And now I'm going to show you my FLN and just let you know that they have come out with the new FLN 2.0. They are hollow ground, so much more effective slicer. This is pretty damn effective as it is, but this is the first version. And then this is a collaboration with Knives Knives, as you can see there. And the new one has a hole cut out, which is great because it really makes the sheathing much better. The sheath on this is okay, but it's something about it just not as good as the new ones. I experienced the new ones at Blade Show. They are now out, so you can order one. The new FLN with the high hollow grind and the blade hole for retention. So check that out. These things are wicked. Jared Neve just did a video showing it off against a ballistics dummy. And yeah, it's pretty damn cool. Last up, I'm just going to show you these. I'm not sure when these are available again. I know they had a recent run of them, but I absolutely love them. Some of my very favorite EDC knives at all. Here's the Adversary. And on the same platform is the Combatant. Now, the Combatant was the first one. And this is the second iteration of the Combatant. They did change the blade a little bit, gave it a swedge and a lower point, more of a spear point. But these things just melt in the hand. They are outstanding knives. I think the Adversary is my favorite because of that thumb swale and that beautiful Wharncliffe blade. If you've got giant meat hooks, and this is just going to be too small for you, I can get 4 fingers on it. But if you have big hands, you can get a Sentry grip for this. So that adds the no, actually, it's not a Sentry grip. It's just an extended grip. So it doesn't have a ring. It just extends this handle a little bit. And it's just done with G10, and it's super solid. Again, that's something I got to experience at Blade Show. I don't have one for my knife, but I don't want the longer handle on this. I love how discreet the carry is on the Combatant and the Adversary. All right, if you want any of these knives, especially the 001, dropping on November 1st, 2025, or you can get the Zombie or the Storm Edition right now, ready to ship. Go to TheKnifeJunkie.com/TKell and use our affiliate link. That's what that is. And you got to put on you have to put in the coupon code Knife Junkie, all lowercase. Knife Junkie, one word, all lowercase, will give you 10% off your purchase. So do that. We all win from that. And you get 10% off one of these beautiful knives. They're not inexpensive knives, so take advantage of 10% off. But you will be very, very happy you did this. Looks like we've crossed the 43,000 subscriber line in the last 24 hours as I record this. Very excited and happy about that. But I want you to know, spread the word, because when we get to 50,000 subscribers, Dirk Pinkerton, the great and powerful and awesome Dirk Pinkerton, will be making us a custom knife to give away. And that's to anyone on the 3rd Thursday of the month. Or no, we'll do a special giveaway for that. That's reserved for Gentleman Junkies. This is for everyone. So we'll find a day. I'll announce it. I'll do a close-up video of whatever that custom knife is. We're going to decide together. It'll be something big and cool. And we're going to give that away when we hit 50,000 subscribers. All right. Thank you for joining me. And thanks for checking out all these beautiful TKell EDC knives. They are great. I love Tim and I love his work. And I am so smitten with this design and how it comes out. And this second run is even better than the first. So go check them out. They do drop on the TKell website November 1st, 2025, or if you want a Zombie or a Storm Edition just in time for Halloween, they are available. All right, for Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying until next time, Don't take dull for an answer.
Thanks for listening to the Knife Junkie podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review at reviewthepodcast.com. For show notes for today's episode, additional resources, and to listen to past episodes, visit our website, TheKnifeJunkie.com. You can also watch our latest videos on YouTube at TheKnifeJunkie.com/YouTube.